everyone, welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to show you how to grow mango from seed using store-bought mangoes. So I have two types of mangoes here. This is like the Philippine mango or the honey mango, and this is like a Mexican mango. You can use either one, but I have both, and I'm going to show you how to make it using this type of mango, but it's really the same process. Okay, so first thing you do is just grab your mango and cut it to get the seed out. So I normally do is I cut as close to the seed as possible, and you don't have to worry about hurting the seed because the actual seed is inside this husk casing, so you don't have to worry about it, and it's easier to get out the seed if you take out as much of the flesh as you can. So you can also remove more of the meat if you want, or just eat it. That's what I do, I eat it, and you'll get something like this. And what you're going to do is to let it dry out so it's easier to take out the seed, and you're going to get something like this. So when it's dried out like this, it's easier to take the actual seed that's inside. So where the part that's bulging, that's where the actual seed is. So you have to be careful when trying to open the seed up. So what you do is, using a scissors or a knife, just cut a little bit on the side just to get a little bit of an opening. This is easier when it's dried, so it's important you try it out. Sun dry it, don't use the oven. And then you just poke a little bit. Be careful not to hurt the seed that's inside. So I suggest like cutting up and not cutting down. And then just using your fingers, open it up. And you'll get the seed. So what you can do is just take out this brown part because it's just gonna rot. Just take that one out, and you can propagate it two ways. You could propagate it in water like you do with avocados, like with toothpick and everything, or you could just wrap it in a damp paper towel, put it in a Ziploc or a plastic bag, and just leave it there for 1 to 2 weeks. So like this part, this is the part where the root will grow and where the leaves would grow from. So this is the part that you need to take care of. So get a damp paper towel and then wrap the seed with it. You don't have to wrap it too tight because you want to have to give the seed space to grow. And then just put it on the Ziploc. You could put a date on it so you can remember when you first did this, and you can check, but I just check every week. So this is going to take about 1 week or 2 weeks for it to grow roots. And what I do is I just wait for it to grow about 1 inch of root and no more than that, because I tried letting the root grow a little bit longer, and what happens is when I put it in soil, it kind of goes into shock and the seed dies. So it's just like 1 inch. It's still developing, it's still adjusting. So when you put it into the soil, it's not too much of a shock for them, if that makes sense.
2 days later.
So this has been in the paper towel, the damp paper towel, and inside a Ziploc for about 2 days, and you can see the roots are already starting to grow. So it's probably going to take a week, maybe 2, for it to grow about 1 inch of root.
2 weeks later.
So it's been about 2 weeks, and let's look at the seed. So yeah, this is pretty substantial. It's like about 1 inch or so. I would plant this already. You could wait maybe a week more to see if it grow, but this is something that I would already plant. So to plant this mango seed, just get a nursery pot, fill it up with soil, and then just stick the seed onto it. So it's pretty easy. You don't have to bury the seed, just the roots itself. So just do it like that and cover it with soil a little bit. I don't bury it in deep. I just like let the soil cover it a bit because I want the leaves to be able to make its way out of the soil pretty easily, and the roots will find its way down the soil, so you don't have to worry about that. And yeah, so this part you don't worry, and not even worry if it's like sticking out a little bit on your nursery pot, if it's too small, if you want to get a bigger nursery pot, but I don't find it necessary. And then just water it. And it's important to keep this moist while it's growing. So yeah. So yeah. So yeah, just keep the soil moist, and don't worry about root rot. It won't rot. Just, you know, always keep it moist, because at this stage the mango requires a lot of nutrients, and it would suck up the soil. It will suck up the nutrients from the soil into water pretty quickly, and you don't want it to dry out. So yeah, so that's it. And then just wait a few days, and it will start, the leaves will start to show, and before you know it, the roots will be coming out of this nursery pot, and you have to move it to a bigger pot. This one is probably the youngest seedling I have, so I can show you pretty much what happens once you have the seed already growing an inch of roots and you put into the soil. So I can dig around and see, because this has been in the soil for a while, so the roots are probably a bit longer than an inch, but I could show you. Oh yeah, maybe not, hold on. It's kinda, okay, so it's a pretty substantial root growth by now, so okay. This plant is gonna hate me, but yeah. So you don't have to wait for it to grow this much. Really, all you need is probably this much of roots. If I could just uncover it. Yeah, you just like kind of like need the main root growing. You just kind of need the main root growing. You don't need all the like the little nerves to grow out before you plant it. It's gonna take some time for it to grow, so you just have to be patient with it. But once it grows really fast. And I can show you the ones that I have outside now that are like, some of them just grew overnight. I didn't even know how they did it, but just like from a seed like this, and it just like shot up real quick. And I guess it's, you know, a combination of weather and water, sun, rain, that does it. I don't put any fertilizer, but the soil that I use is already treated with fertilizer, because like, you know, they're basically like the, you know, the Miracle Grows that you can buy at any garden center. So yeah, so let me show you the ones that I have growing outside. So when you first start growing them, or when you first start shooting out leaves, the leaves are going to be this color. It's going to be like this brown reddish ones, and eventually, and it droops down, but eventually it will become mature and become green like this, and it will eventually also move up. So these are like the young ones, and if you notice, I put them in really tall pots because their roots grow straight down, like, you know how with most plants, once they reach the bottom of the pot, they kind of choose to, or train itself to just wrap around the sides of the pot. The mango doesn't care. The mango will just continue to shoot down until you will see the roots at the bottom coming. So this 3 are my most mature mango plant. This one is actually my very first successful one, but it kind of like stopped growing, and I think what happened was because I took out the seed too soon. Because what normally happens is that it will just rot and then, you know, pull away from the actual plant. But what I did was, once this kind of like grew up to be like this, I took out the seed and it survived. Nothing really happened to it, but I think it stunted its growth because I think the plant still takes nutrients off the seed, so it's better to not take out the seed first. Just let it grow. So you can see how it grows from the seed like that, and there's a little bit more. Sometimes you'll get multiple stems. So yeah. And this is the one that like just grew out of nowhere. Like the day before, it was just like a seed, and all the stems were like wrapped up inside of it. And then the very next day, it just like shoot up to be this big. Because this is actually the youngest one out of the three, but this is the one that grew the biggest. Because I think it also depends on the quality of this. Will they grow fruits? I don't know. It's gonna take like a few years to find out, but from what I know is that you have to graft the mango from another plant that's already bearing good fruits. But yeah, so these are my mango plants. As you can see, they're very easy to grow. For me, they're easier than growing avocados. Like I haven't had any success growing avocado from seeds. But yeah, so I hope you found this video helpful on how to grow a mango from the seed of a store-bought fruit. But yeah, so thanks for watching. Have a plentiful day and go plant your mango.